All right, welcome to my live, guys. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit live. Sweet. Why doesn't this work? Come on, you can do it. It's so touchy. Why are you so touchy? Okay, I guess we're gonna take this off. All right, guys, welcome to my live. I'm pretty excited to be here today because we are doing my Tuesday morning live. Let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna be here for now 90 minutes today. So I am trying really hard to be consistent on this platform. I have not been in 3 years, I'll be completely honest with you. And I'm ready to be like consistent. So whatever I can help you guys with, let me know. My name is Andrew, I'm a life coach. I am working right now on being more vulnerable in myself online and trying to help people in whatever way I can. So welcome. If you know me, awesome. If you don't know me, that's okay too. We're gonna be here for about 90 minutes today and I'm gonna try to help you with whatever I can. This is like the main outreach I'm doing today in my business. So hopefully if I can help somebody with something, I would love to. And you guys can ask about anything here or anything not here. It doesn't matter what questions you guys have or anything. I'm happy to answer them, happy to help in whatever way I can. And let's go. I want to say this too before I get started. Well, comments roll in. I've been life coaching for about 3 years, and one of my clients made me this. He's starting a company called Dual Threat where you like have 2 different sports you play. Sure, I think it's cool. His name's Kyle. He's a cool guy. All right, so whatever I can help you guys with, let me know. I am currently I'm here, so ask me questions. And I'm currently coming up with a school community. I'm gonna make a community that's going to be extremely affordable, like less than $10 a month. And the whole point is to show, like, I'm trying to bring life coaching tools that are really high quality, make them accessible to everyone, because I believe that life coaching tools should be taught to everyone, like how to manage your thoughts and your emotions. When I first learned these tools, I was actually working in the psychiatric hospital, and they completely changed my life in a way that the psych tools never did. I have a 4-year in psych. I was working in the hospital, and learning life coaching tools was amazing. I was actually able to learn these tools and bring them into the psych hospital, where I was able to help the adult women's unit like change their lives in a way that was really cool. So whatever I can help you guys with, let me know. We're gonna have a nice little conversation. It'll be about 90 minutes today, and we are here for it. So yeah, I've been doing this for about 3 years. This is not new for me. This is my business. This is what I do, and I fully intend on having a very large life coaching business, helping thousands of people all over the world. If you need help quitting vaping, I've already maxed out that skill tree, so you can go to my link in my bio, and I have a course that can help you. How can I get to it? So thanks for the first comments, guys. How can I get to a better thanks for sharing too. If you guys want to share like live, anything you do supports me. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get more people on these lives by going regularly on and being consistent. So how can I get better get over people that was hard for me? Being ugly to me, even though I've never met them. I'm confused by that. Are you thinking that you're not attractive, or are you thinking other people are not attractive? I'm confused. Can you specify? Hello, goodbye. If you had a quote of the day, what would it be? My quote for today, just show up. Throw out all the mind drama, just show up. Like, take the first step that you can conceivably take today. That's my quote for the day. And my first step for conceivably action is just getting out there and talking to people about who I am. Truly it is. Like, your dreams are simple. It's all the emotions that get tied into them that becomes difficult. And that's what I help people do as a life coach, is help them untangle the emotions from what's actually possible for them. Courtney, I feel like I can't succeed in real estate because I get out of my comfort zone. Well, that's not a problem, right? You being in your comfort zone is why you, there's so many cliches I could throw at you right now, like life starts at the edge of your comfort zone, all that stuff. But what I want to offer to you is, of course, you're uncomfortable to do something you haven't done before. And just like by understanding how your brain is wired, by the way, this is really good because I'm making a community. I'm going to add courses in there. And this is a really good idea for the course. It's like how your brain works, how your brain's wired. To understand that's very valuable. Your brain is biologically and hardware wired to not want to get uncomfortable. So of course that you're going to have issues and fear come up when you do something new, like real estate, and you have to go talk to people and talk out of your comfort level and your experience, because your brain's wired that way. But just because your brain's wired to not get uncomfortable doesn't mean you can't choose to get there. And that's what's so cool about being a human being, is that we have something called the prefrontal cortex. So our prefrontal cortex actually lets us take action over our emotions. We get to override our brain's natural desire to want to hide. And that's what makes us human beings at the end of the day. It's pretty cool, right? So it's okay that you're uncomfortable. It's okay that you're scared. Like, don't make that a problem for yourself, right? Don't spend any time pathologizing yourself or making yourself sound weak because you're scared. I'm scared every fucking day, okay? And that's okay. I know that I'm supposed to be. And that's okay anyways, okay? So I'm making a course list. I'm starting a low-ticket community, guys. It's going to be $7 a month, and I'm going to teach you guys with courses all the stuff I teach as a life coach. It's going to be so good. It's, in my opinion, the basic education we should get about our brain and emotions. So how your brain works, that's going to be a good course, a really good course. thoughts, the model. Sorry, I'm just, whenever you guys give me an idea, I'm gonna write them down. All right, so does that make sense? All right, so it's okay that you're scared to get out of your comfort zone. You're supposed to be, and that's okay. Don't make it a problem. You're a worthy, beautiful human being, Courtney, and you deserve to have the life you want. But the life that you want is on the other side of experiencing discomfort. It has to be, right? I really struggle with indecision, especially with career path-wise, but even small decisions are hard. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna offer to anybody who's struggling to make a decision. Your decisions in your life are not logical, they're emotional. Okay, a lot of people are teaching you like lay out the pros and cons. You don't need to actually do that because of the logic. The reason we do the pros and cons is because we can emotionally feel how we feel about it, right? So if you're trying to figure out a career path, what I recommend you do is write down both careers in like when you hover over one with your hand in your heart center, like what, if I think about doing this career, what's it feel like for me, right? If emotions like dread, boredom, like gross, disgust come up, probably not the right option. And if you hover over the other one, it's like, what about this? Like going after a music career, right? It's like fear, excitement, fear, terror. Well, that's probably the right decision, right? Your emotions are always telling you what you actually want. The problem with most people is that we don't know how to feel our emotions, right? We're numb to our emotions because we've been taught how not to feel them. And there's so many ways for us to escape our emotions in modern society, social media, vaping, nicotine, alcohol, all the things, right? That we're lost, but we're not actually lost. We just forgot how to listen. That's the quote of the day. Who asked me for the quote of the day earlier? That's the quote of the day. We're not lost. We just forgot how to listen. That's what I'll say. All right. Zen's for quitting vaping. Yeah, but just make sure that you don't blame nicotine. Like, nicotine's not the actual problem. The actual problem is that you have thoughts and emotions behind the surface that are making you want to vape all the time. And if you understand that, you'll be able to quit. If you want help, anybody here wants to quit vaping, go to my link tree, my link on my link tree, and go to the bottom one. And it's called Escape the Vape. It'll tell you everything you need to know. And I've been this is my niche for the last 3 years. I'm very good at this. It's only a small fraction of what I do, but I'm very good at helping people quit vaping. Okay. What's up, official? Danny, just replaced a car part for my car to be fixed and then totaled it yesterday. What do I do? Find out where in your vibration you attracted that. And I'm not saying that to blame you. It's like, did you think that, like, are you having a lot of scarce money beliefs all the time? Are you scared about money? Are you not making enough? Because whatever comes into our life, even if it seems like we haven't controlled that, we're attracting it. So this happens a lot for people. It's like, I just finally got caught up, but I feel like something bad's gonna happen, or scarcity around money. And then the law of attraction brings us what we think about. So I'm just offering this as a good example of like, is there anywhere of your life that you can see that you were thinking thoughts that would have created a financial hit like this? And it's not to blame, it's to build awareness around our thoughts, because our thoughts create our reality. So if I have like 5 poor financial things happen in a row, and instead of making myself feel bad about myself, it's like, where am I creating this in my mind? Well, every single day I have all these scarce thoughts about money, right? Every single day I think I don't have enough, or something bad's gonna happen. Well, those thoughts are gonna create things in your life, even if you're whether you're woo-woo or not, right? Because like, imagine, right? I'm all worried about money all the time. I'm scarce, I'm feeling nervous, I'm scared of my car. I am nervous, and I take an action in fear and traffic that makes me get in an accident. Well, that's because of the emotion you're experiencing, right? That you took that action. So where in your vibration are you creating that is a beautiful question of awareness, not for shame and judgment. Make sense? I'm very smart on this stuff. Thank you, I am. That's true. What's the difference between being a placeholder to a man or his dream person? Well, I think that's strange. I think that you're thinking of it from the man's perspective and not your own. So I would recommend you take that power back. Is the guy that you're dating who you actually want? Are they treating you how you want? Do they see your own divinity and perfection? Do they show up and love you the way that you want to be loved? Right? And this is different. I'm not saying, are they managing your emotions for you? That's not their job. Are they treating you the way you want to be treated as a human being who thinks she's worthy as fuck? Right? So stop thinking about it from his perspective and think about it from yours. If you could have any guy in the world, is this the guy you'd end up with? And here's some good questions to think about too. It's like, there's very simple questions to weed out if we're in the right path. Do you want them to have kids with? If your kids turned out just like them, would you be happy about that? Are you excited to bring them around family? Are you happy to tell them? If somebody told you, hey, you're just like your partner, would that be exciting to you to hear, or dreadful, right? Very good, simple questions to ask yourself that'll, because the thing is, we always know. It's never a knowing issue. We always know what we actually want, what we don't. The problem is that we lie to ourselves because we think that we can't do better because we don't believe in our own worthiness. Make sense? Also, guys, I'm going to put out really fast before I answer more. I'm going to keep answering comments. I'm going to get to everyone. But let me just put this up because TikTok has a new thing with like, yay, if you guys want to DM me directly. I am starting a $7 membership where I'm going to teach my basic life coaching tools to everyone who pays for the $7 membership. I'm also going to offer actual life coaching in there once a week. If that's interesting to you, send me a DM because I'm trying to compile a list right now because I want to hit the ground running and get like 100 people in it right off the bat. So if you're interested in like what I'm doing for $7 and what I'm saying makes sense, I'm going to add massive value with a whole list of courses right up front that are going to be like amazing. Right to the throat, amazing tools. So if you guys are interested, let me know. Tell me if it's a bad idea or a good idea. I'd love to know that. One One sec. Jay is unfortunately. Oh, Jay, I'm sorry, girl. I thought you wouldn't be a jerk, but you are. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. If not, that's okay too. But I'm just trying to. Right now, I'm scouting and trying to get information. Okay. Sorry. All right. So let's see what else I got. Def not Aaron. Hey Aaron. I have a gym membership, but I'm so self-conscious working out in public, so I don't go anymore. Yeah, this is the problem, right? It's like, why? This is the issue. Your thoughts create your emotions, okay? So what are you thinking in the gym that makes you self-conscious? And we want to question those thoughts, right? Really, you want to become the kind of person who shows up as yourself and lets other people have emotions about it and it doesn't affect you. And the way that we get to that point is by really, truly, like, guarding our own thoughts, right? So if you're having trouble, like, going to the gym because you're so self-conscious, what are you thinking about yourself? And start questioning those things, because a lot of the thoughts you have are not true, but if you believe them, it's going to create results you don't want, like not being able to work out. You're welcome, Courtney. KJK, I've had a hard time not being negative. Every day I plan to get up and go to the gym, but I get, negative. Yeah, the problem is that you're not managing your thoughts about your results. So you wake up, it's like, what's the point? I hate myself, I'm fat, I have body odor, right? So if you want to take consistent action, you have to be able to manage your thoughts to an extent to be able to take action. So when you wake up, of course you're going to get hit with negative thoughts. That's how your brain works. So nothing's gone wrong. I get negative thoughts every day. I'm a fucking life coach. This is what I do for a living, is mindset work. I still have a lot of negative thoughts. I just stopped believing them, right? I know that the thought line for me is it's optional, so I get to decide what I want to believe. So when I wake up and I get hit with, oh, it's not going to work, it's like, no, I have this vision for my life and I'm choosing that it's going to work. I'm choosing that these are all the reasons I think it's important to go to the gym. I remind myself. In doing that, you actually create the emotion to go and get up and do it. Make sense? Yeah, people are doing, if you guys don't know, people are like putting live they're commenting live restrictions, and they're trying to make it look like it's from the platform. So that's just, people are just always doing a new thing to try to get attention. So it's all good. What if I hear auditory hallucinations can make me do stuff, then after I forget instantly? It sounds like a psych problem. Do you have psychosis? Is there intense trauma that you have to deal with? I would go into therapy if it's an auditory hallucination, maybe therapy to see what's going on. Typically, whenever you have kind of like psychosis of any kind, it's typically, not always, I would imagine it comes from two places after working in the psych hospital. It's either a traumatic brain injury, like there's physical damage on your brain, or you have trauma that needs to be worked out, that your brain's trying to make sense of, okay? It says live. Yes, it does that, Aaron. It's somebody else commented that. I know, it's so funny. Standing root, you just used 2 hands to drink. I can't trust you, child. Did I use 2 hands to drink? I'm left-handed. I do everything backwards, so come at me. Everyone calls me Steve. She's in Jersey, I'm in Texas. Have a plan to close the gap. That's the simplest thing I can possibly say to you for a long-distance relationship. Have a plan to close the gap. That's it. If you don't have a plan, it's not a serious relationship. It's just fake. It's just 2 people who don't want to commit that are telling each other they want to and incredibly in a lot of pain because they're not really committing. Saftopia, what's the single piece of advice to change your life? Your thoughts create your emotions. That's it. Because when I was clinically depressed in 2019 and I was literally like in a psych degree, going to therapy, trying to help myself, no one told me that my thoughts are creating my emotions, that my thoughts are optional. The biggest thing that's ever changed my life ever. That's why I teach this now. It's like, wait a minute. So all the horrible things I'm believing about life in the world that make me want to not be alive anymore, those are optional? What the fuck? Why didn't someone tell me this? Why do I have a 4-year degree in psych and no one told me this? Why am I working at a psychiatric hospital and nobody told me this? Oh, because those aren't the right places to learn about how to manage your thoughts, apparently. So that's it. So if you guys want help with that kind of stuff, get coaching. I need to stop vaping. Lex, if you're serious, I have a link in my link tree. Go check. It's the last link. It's called Escape the Vape. It'll help you tremendously. I can't talk about it a lot here because I will get censored, and I'm doing this live for at least an hour and a half. I don't want to do it censored. So yeah, I'm interested. You are awesome. Cool. DM me. I really appreciate it because I'm trying to collect a list of 100 people before I launch this so that I actually have a solid community of people that want to do what I'm doing, be a part of my group, and they want to follow me for the lessons I teach, as a life coach. So that's what I'm trying to do. But if you're actually interested, I'd love to do it. So corny. What's corny? Okay, so let's keep going. Sorry. I am on Nova. I'm 23, been vaping salt nic since 15. Yeah, high anxiety, stress, and used to go. Yeah, well, it's actually making your anxiety and stress worse because that's the function of a stimulant, right? Imagine if I had 13 cups of coffee a day, would you be less or more anxious? More anxious. So vaping is the exact same thing. It's a stimulant. It pretty much has a lot of similarities to coffee. There's nuances, but stimulant's a stimulant, right? So acknowledge that. You can never stop using something like nicotine or alcohol if you think you need it to cope with your emotions. That's the biggest thought error that's keeping you addicted. So if you need help with that, Nova, go to my link tree and go check it out, because I'll get restricted if I keep talking about that. Jalen, best way to quit? Yes. Anybody wants to quit, Nick? Go to my link in my bio. Yoshi, love that. Internal negative gives negative external output. Exactly. Your brain is such a simple computer. What I put in, it comes out. Now the problem is that most people don't understand that their inputs are optional, right? It's like, oh, I just hate my life. Life's horrible. The president shouldn't be president. The world's ending. Like, there's nukes. Like, no, stop doing that. Like, how about we focus on all the things that are going right, and you'll see that you'll actually get positive output as well. When I focus on what's going right, I create a life that I want. When I focus on what's going wrong, I feel disempowered in life that I don't want. It's that simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Okay? Thanks for the follow, Miggy. My boyfriend wants to stop drinking and smoking. Is there any way his girlfriend I can help? Show up in unconditional love, right? And what I mean by that is, like, don't judge him for where he's at and just say smoking. Is there any way his girlfriend I can help? Show up in unconditional love, right? And what I mean by that is, like, don't judge him for where he's at and just say, hey, I love you whether you're drinking or not. I love you unconditionally. As who out a partner, and that's a wrong way to go in a relationship. So what particularly do you miss about him, and why can't you give that to yourself? And if you give that to yourself, by the way, the law of attraction says that if you give it to yourself, then that thing will come into your life. So if I can feel connected without a partner, then I have to, connection will follow, right? What you feel, you attract. If I feel connected, then I'll attract connection. If I feel lonely, I'll attract loneliness, right? And it makes sense to you logically, because nobody wants to be around a lonely person, right? But everybody wants to be around someone who feels like they love themselves. It's that simple. The law of attraction is very simple. It's not easy, okay? How to sit in shame. Let yourself do it. I think that the biggest issue with people not being able to sit in shame is that they're still resistant to the idea that shame shouldn't be there. Okay? So Jenna, I would say, like, let yourself be in shame. There's nothing wrong with shame. Right now, you're still thinking that it's bad to be experiencing it, and that's why you can't sit in it. I'm not somebody that needs a relationship but miss that connection. Yeah, bad to be experiencing it, and that's why you can't sit in it. I'm not somebody that needs a relationship but miss that connection. Yeah, love, absolutely. How can I stop being anxious attachment? Stop expecting your partner to make you happy. That's the most simple way I can possibly say it. That's it. It's like, the reason you're anxiously attached in a relationship is because you're expecting them to make you feel good. That's not what a relationship's for. You've been taught that. That's wrong. Okay? Then what do they teach drives me nuts. I don't know, honestly, because when I went to therapy, my personal experience, I'm not speaking on the whole field, and I think that therapy is a beautiful container for certain cases, is we just talked, and there was no actual skill set being built. It was like, let's just talk about my life and give me a place to whine. And that's what I experienced, really. That's what it was. So that wasn't helpful. You know, one of the most important things somebody can tell you when your life's not going well is that you're at fault for that. Why are you thinking about it this way? Like, your thinking is not helping you, right? And I found that therapists often don't do that. And I'm not saying always, because it's a beautiful time, but that's my experience, both working in the psychiatric hospital with therapists and social workers and receiving therapy myself. And now being on the other side as a coach. No sound? With therapists and social workers and receiving therapy myself. And now being on the other side as a coach. No sound? Oh. Sorry, the car connects, so my just Bluetooth. Thanks for all the likes. Yeah, keep liking this, guys. I really do appreciate it, because it'll get me more people to watch so we can talk. Sorry about that. My grandpa literally turned on the car, and it happens all the time. Tyler, if you have a gambling addiction, you're feeling lost, those problems go hand in hand, right? So the problem with most people who are feeling lost in life is that they don't know how to listen to their intuition. And when we don't know how to listen to our intuition, it's probably because we've been numbing our emotions for so long with things like dopamine hits, okay? So the gambling is an effect of you not wanting to feel uncomfortable, And you feeling lost in life is also an effect of you not wanting to feel uncomfortable. So one of the main things I teach people is like, hey, your emotions right now, the good and the bad, are both important. And the reason why you're using like nicotine, alcohol, whatever your vices, is because you don't want to feel your emotions. But the problem with using vices all the time to avoid your emotions is that you're also avoiding the inner compass you have telling you what you actually want in life. So you can't just avoid some of the emotions, right? So one of the best things you can do for yourself is let yourself surrender to the idea of negative emotions and sit in a room completely bored for like 3 days straight. And what you're gonna find is that you actually do know what you want, you're just scared to admit it. And that's why you've been avoiding with gambling, right? Because you're scared to actually let yourself get into the thoughts that make you uncomfortable. Makes sense? It's that simple. What's up, Gator Glove? You an interview today? Any tips? Yeah, 2 things. One is like pre-frame your mind. Make sure that you believe you're the right person for the job before you go in there. That's actually an exercise you can do. Highly recommend it because that'll create your result. And then also let yourself be anxious or nervous if you are, without it being an issue. I love him so much, but my parents say he won't take me anywhere and I have to block him. Why are you listening to your parents about your relationship? Right? That's the question I really want you to ask yourself, because that's a surefire way to resentment for both you, your parents, and your partner. Do you know Michael Cipriano? He's a salesman. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know a lot of Ciprianos. Know Michael in my immediate family. Okay, was considering going to dental school for the money and stability, but I'm not sure about it. That's fine. I don't think that's wrong. But do you want a life that's like stable and boring? I don't know if it's boring to you, right? Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But is it what do you actually want, or does it feel safe? Because what I recommend is that we're not here on earth to feel safe. We're here to create the dreams that we have and go after them and feel all the emotions that come with life. When you try to create a life of safety, you actually end up creating a lot more negative emotion, because then you have regret, boredom, existential issues, right? So, as a life coach and truly believing in the work of going after what actually your heart is saying to go after, I don't believe in security. I think it's a false sense of security, because with security comes a life of dread. And to me, that's not secure at all. That's like the worst emotions. So just, what do you actually want? And then why can't you go after that? And there's consequences to everything, right? If you want to have big dreams, you're going to experience a lot more failure and rejection, probably a lot less security. But you just want to make that choice and make it consciously. Are you going after a life of security because you think that's all that's available to you? Or it's like you're actually choosing that I'm willing to give up what I really want to be secure? It's a question you want to ask yourself. I'd highly recommend it. Okay. And you guys keep liking the live. I really do appreciate it. Keep sharing it. Like, I'm trying to get more people in here. I'm being regular. And if you're getting value from this, let me know. How do you get over the courage to leave a toxic situation even though the thought of them with other people hurts? I don't think it's a problem to think, well, here's what I want to offer to you for your, and also if you guys want to DM me. Here's the immediate response I have is like, it's okay if it hurts, right? There's a whole spiritual concept that the thing you need the most is in the place you're least willing to look. Like, you have to kill a part of yourself in order to grow, right? And that killing of yourself hurts, right? It really does. It's like the phoenix literally has to die before it can rise out of its own ashes, right? So let it be painful and then do it anyways. That's the exact thing. And it's actually the person you become in the process of letting something be painful, and the growth that comes with those uncomfortable emotions is the reward. So exactly right. Thank you. Also, if anybody's interested, let me know. I'm coming up with this $7 membership. It's going to be on the school platform, and I'm going to have a whole entire list of courses I teach people about relationships, how your brain works, how substances work in your life, all these things. And I want it to be a really affordable way to get really high quality information and coaching. So if you're interested, please let me know, and like DM me so I can put you on my list, because I want to launch with about 100 people in that, so that there's people in there learning, growing, showing up, changing your life. So, okay. Thanks for commenting, by the way. I do appreciate that, guys. It keeps everything flowing, and I love that. I don't like to come with pre-recorded stuff or pre-made content. Like, we're here to talk about anything that's going on in your life, so that's where the value comes from, right? Yes, I'm interested for sure. Great live. Thank you. I appreciate that. DM me so I know. So I can, when I release it, I can DM you and be like, hey, this is out, so you can join. But I want to create about 3 courses before I launch it, so that there's immense value for your $7 before you ever get there. Should I get into nursing or STEM? It's your choice, right? Here's what I want to ask to you is, before you consider any of those professions, sorry, I don't like to have people on live because it throws me off, but if you ever want to get live coaching with me, you can join the group. But here's what I want to offer. When you think about the life that you want, get rid of the actual idea of your career, because you don't even know what's best for you. You have no idea, right? You have no idea what career is best for you, but what we can do is figure out, like, what's the life I want? Like, sit down and do this exercise. Most people won't do this, and that's why they're going to go after careers they don't want, and then 3 or 5 or 10 years later, they're going to go, wow, my life's been a waste, because what my heart was saying I wasn't listening to. So take a minute. Which one is it? I don't know your name, period. That's what it says. Take a minute and like ask yourself, if I could have anything I want in life, let yourself dream, what would it look like? Would I be married? Would I be working at all? Would I have a ton of money? Would I not have a lot of money? Where would I live? What kind of hours would I work? If I do work, how many kids do I want? Like, you don't have to have this all figured out, but you have a lot of answers in you already if you just let yourself dream. So figure out exactly what life would look like if you could actually have the life you want. And then ask yourself the question, working backwards, which one of these careers is going to fit into that life better? And that's how you make decisions in life. Most people, the problem is that they're trying to make decisions from just like the present looking forward. And I think that proper adults who create the lives they want, they make decisions from the forward looking present. I'm going to write that too. How to make decisions. Oh, oh my God. This is going to be the best $7 you guys ever fucking spend. Because I'm going to make a course on that too. Oh, it's going to be, I'm so excited. I'm going to have like, you guys, I'm going to have like 20 courses in here when you get into this, and you can pick any one that sounds good to you, and you're getting so much value. Oh my gosh. I'm like genuinely excited for this. Okay. Anyways. Why have so many people had a lot more romantic experiences than me? Don't want to hear the timing BS. It's not timing. It's because of what you think about yourself, right? The people who have a lot of romantic experiences think that they're going to have a lot of romantic experiences. They think they're worthy of it. They think that they are deserving. They think they like their body. They think that people find them attractive, right? It has nothing to do with timing and everything to do with the thoughts that are replaying in your head over every single day. The thoughts and beliefs you have. That's it. There's no other way around it. That's the proof. That's the honest God's truth. So if you ask yourself the question, like you just asked me, why have so many other people had more romantic experiences than I have? Write down all the answers your brain gives you, and you're going to get the exact reasons why. Well, because they're more attractive, they're more confident, they know where to find people, I don't know where to find people, everyone doesn't like me. Like, those are the thoughts that are actually blocking you from the romantic experiences you want. It's your block, it's nobody else's block. In the moment that you actually believe, I'm ready to date, people love me, they're everywhere, they're ready to date me, that's when you create as many romantic experiences as you believe you're worthy of creating. Make sense? So, yes, if you guys want, sign up. DM me so I can like add you to my list. I want 100 people in this group so we can start going. All right, why have some people? Yes. Lauren, why has no guy said on me in like the last 3 years? Because of what you're thinking. It's the exact same advice I'm going to give to I, right? Because you are currently thinking you're someone who's not going to get approached in public. You're currently thinking that everyone else gets hit on, but you don't, right? Like, your thoughts become your reality. I'm not just saying that's not just fluffy bullshit. The way that you think is the way that you act. So if you're thinking nobody is ever going to hit on me, you're going to actually act in a way that makes you unapproachable for people. Subconsciously, by the way, it doesn't matter if you're aware of this or not. You're going to walk into the gym and think no one ever hits on me. And then like people are going to like walk up to you and go, well, that girl doesn't look confident. I'm not going to hit on her, because subconsciously there's something off about her in terms of my primal brain wanting to hit on somebody who believes in their worthiness, right? So that's why it's always an internal problem. And I'm not saying that to judge you. I'm saying that that's a beautiful thing, because any internal problem that we have, we can also fix by learning how to manage our thoughts about it. That's exactly what I'll teach you. Join my $7 membership, or at least DM me so that I can create it and have you on my list. Okay. Emily, I'm not sure if you answered mine, but I think you did when the sound went out. Shit, Emily, what was your question? And I'll answer it again. I'm sorry. Just ask it again. You're not too far up. Yellow plaid jacket. How do I make better friends? I think I'm too shy and awkward. Yeah, by stopping thinking you're shy and awkward, right? Because if you think you're shy and awkward, you're going to attract shy and awkward friends. That's it. You have to stop thinking thoughts that the person who would have friends wouldn't think. Let me say it again. If I'm if I'm Lauren, and I think that no one's ever going to approach, like, you have to actually think thoughts that the person who gets approached thinks. If you want to have friends, what does that person think? I'm a good friend. I'm a great time. I'm always fun. I always like know what to say and do, and I'm comfortable with myself. But right now you're the kind of person who thinks I'm shy and awkward. So of course you're not attracting friends, because someone who thinks they're shy and awkward doesn't attract people in their life. You create the exact results you think you're going to. It's exactly like that. There's no buts about it. If, ands, or buts about it. Makes me doubt myself so much more. Good, thank you. Good way of looking at it. Yeah, it's not even a good way of looking at it. This is divinely how the universe works. This is just the laws of the universe, right? Our vibration attracts vibration. I don't want you to see this as like a cute perspective. This is literally the divine truth of the universe, right? How we think is what we attract. That's exactly right. What makes you doubt? Thank you, but it makes me doubt. Well, if you need help learning how to become the person who attracts people in, that's what coaching is so beautiful for, right? Coaching will teach you how to manage your thoughts about your life so you can attract different things. That's why I believe in coaching so much. Right? That's why I do what I do. Like, obviously I can teach you about the concepts all the time, and I will always do that. And I'll teach you about everything. But like, if you're having trouble applying it, or if the concepts I'm talking about are backfiring to you, get coaching so somebody can help you actually apply them. That's exactly right. Yes. How to maintain motivation. maintain your thoughts, right? Like, have a clear vision of what you want. This is the number one reason why most people aren't motivated consistently, is because they stop believing in their vision halfway through when it gets tough. That's it. It's like, if I didn't every day wake up and envision the life that I wanted and why all this hard work of business was worth it, I would have given up 2 years ago. But every single day I wake up, and when all the negative thoughts hit me, and they always do, not a problem that they hit me, they always hit me, I just redirect. I'm like, nope, this is why I'm doing this. This is the life I want. This is the vision I want. This is why I want to have this business, so I can support my husband, my future husband, in a way that I want to support him. And that shit motivates me, right? The vision, the vision, the vision. That's the motivating. You need the emotional element. That's where the vision comes in handy. You need it, okay? So, great question. Amos Livas, is that like one of those funny names? Why, when I was a kid, do I go to food cope? Because you were taught to do that, right? Your brain, not only is your brain designed to want to seek out dopamine when you're uncomfortable, but also you were taught to do that. Like, when I was a kid, I was morbidly obese because I was taught to use food to avoid my emotions. I didn't know that, right? I didn't know that every single time I ate ice cream at nighttime, I was avoiding my anxiety, my own self-doubt, my fear about life, but I was, right? And I was taught to do that by my parents. Like, we used to go to White Castle as a child at 12 in the morning. Wow. And I can see that my dad and my mom still have those emotional patterns. They have all this fear, all this anxiety about life, about money, about whatever, and then they eat over it. It's that simple. It's not easy, it's simple. And once you understand the actual problem, you can solve for it. So why are you turning to food to cope? Because there's emotions you don't want to deal with. Without a doubt. That's not a cute theory. That's just the factual, like, that's how your brain works. Your thoughts create your emotions drive action. Without emotion, you don't eat. And I mean, like, anything. Like, anyways. Sorry, they've done studies with this with rats and stuff, and like, your emotions, you need to get your emotions under control if you want to stop eating so much. Or else what's going to happen, and I'm imagining that you're experiencing this pattern, is that you try not to eat for a while, and then you end up restricting and binging, and that's because you're restricting emotions, and then they become too much and you binge. Emotion, not food, emotions. It's always an emotional problem. Yes, the food that is in our society is designed to be addictive, but if we don't have emotions that are uncomfortable driving us to eat more of it than we need, we'll stop when we're full. Okay? All right, so let me see really fast. Yes. Why? Okay. Good questions, guys. Good questions. I love this conversation. This is fucking amazing, by the way. If anybody else, I want to say this again, I'm going to answer more questions, but if anybody's interested in my $7 mentorship, where I'm going to teach you guys all this stuff in specific courses, DM me, let me know, and say, hey, I'm just interested, just for you to reach out at some point, and I want you guys in my $7 mentorship, getting way more value than you're ever going to pay me. Okay? All right. How do I quit vaping? Go to I can't really talk about it much because TikTok doesn't like certain trigger words, but go to my link tree, and on the bottom one, there's a link called Escape the Vape. Go check it out. It'll explain everything, okay? I feel like I'm doing a lot of cringy things that don't resonate with who I am. Yes, a lot of us are. It's so good that you recognize that. Even in my own business, I've done things that are cringy and gross. Like salesy stuff, gross, because we're taught that we have to, right? I sincerely believe, and I'm making a course called The Golden Compass. Another one. The Golden Compass is going to be such a good course. I sincerely believe that the way that we create a life that's meaningful, that actually brings us everything we want, is by learning to listen to our heart, right? And so many of us have been taught not to do that because it's scary. Because we want to believe really badly, because there's like a group mentality in our brain that we really want to believe that other people know the answers, when really we have to find them for ourselves, okay? So there's nothing wrong with you for doing that. Good recognition of it. And now that's the first step to asking yourself. The next question is, what do I actually want? And then when you ask yourself that question, all the limiting beliefs come up. And that's what the fun work we get to do as coaches, right? And people who want to live their dreams, we get to go after that stuff. How do you stop vaping? How do I do that? Go to my link in my bio. How can I find good in people? I don't think it's always best to do that. I used to be a massive people pleaser, and I was taught to always find the good people, blah, blah, blah. And what I've realized is I've become more spiritual. And this is shocking to me. I didn't expect this. Is the more spiritual I become, the more non-polarized I become. And I think it's actually a polarized belief system to always find the good in people. Because just like there's good in people, there's bad in people. And sometimes if we're trying to find the good in people, we actually step into a relationship that's bad for us because we're blinding ourselves to the reality of the person in front of us, which is good and bad. I have a lot of qualities that are bad. Like, I pick my nose sometimes. Sometimes I swear when I shouldn't. Sometimes I lose my temper. Sometimes I lie, and it's not very often. It's very, very seldom I do that, but sometimes I lie when I shouldn't, and I have to correct for it. Sometimes I get angry at people, or sometimes I resent people, there are genuine bad things, just like there are genuine good things about every person. And I think the non-polarized spiritual being sees the both in everyone. And maybe you're going to get to a point where you're like Gandhi one day, where you only see unconditional love. But even the Gandhi knows that there's both parts of every person. They just choose to focus on the love. Make sense? All right. Am I from Illinois? No, Michigan. I'm from Michigan. Okay. So I'm going to go up, make sure I don't miss any comments really fast, okay? Yes, if you guys have vaping comments, please go to my bio and my link, okay? It'll help you tremendously. I lost my job when I have trouble being motivated to apply for jobs, and I feel like I'm really trying. Yeah, one of the sad things about losing your job is that, like, we make it mean something bad about us. And then making it mean something bad about us actually leads to us having a more difficult time finding another job. You know, one of my favorite people right now, his name's Alex Ramosi, and he says that bad things don't come in threes, they come in one. But the problem is that when a bad thing happens, we make it mean something bad about us, and then we create more bad because of that interpretation, right? So, like, it's okay that you lost your job. That's completely neutral. I know it doesn't feel neutral because of the way you're thinking about it, but it's neutral. So if you are currently, and I think it can be a blessing. How can this be perfect that you lost your job? Well, maybe you didn't like your job. Maybe you're showing up resentfully anyways. Maybe you didn't like the way you were making money because you weren't making enough of it. Maybe you were complacent and you weren't actually trying that hard because you didn't like your life very much and you were just using it to avoid things, right? So there's a lot of benefits that can come from losing your job. I recommend you find them because whatever you decide to focus on becomes your next result. So if I choose to focus on all the horrible reasons I lost my job and how bad it is in the economy and all it's horrible, you're going to have a really tough time finding a job. But if you choose to focus, like what I'm doing right now, I'm choosing to focus that I'm just going to always find the clients I need, the money I need. It's always going to come to me because I believe it's going to, and I'm going to focus on that. It'll happen. Okay? Make sense? So if you're having trouble finding a job, it's because all the horrible beliefs you have about finding a job right now, and I would recommend you don't believe those anymore because they're optional and they're not going to serve you. They're actually going to hurt you. Megan, what's the first step? I need to take, Megan, you ever watched Drake and Josh? I need to take the first to quit vaping. I feel like it's affecting my gym workouts. It is affecting your gym workouts because it's killing your lungs. And it's also a stimulant. So what it's doing is constricting your blood flow. So it actually physically, literally is ruining your gym workouts because of its nature with your body. The first step I really would say is go to my link and read through the sales page of my course and watch the video. And if that doesn't help you at all, let me know after you come back and talk to me why that didn't help. And then we'll talk about it, okay? Landon, stopping overeating. Yes. Overeating is an underfeeling problem, okay? So what I am going to tell you guys over and over and over again, and I want to offer this again really fast. If you guys want to join my $7 mentorship that I'm going to put together, it's $7 fucking dollars, and it's going to have courses teaching you about all these things. Let me know that you're interested so that I can start to build a concept before I spend the time building the courses out. All right? If you are currently taking action you don't want to be taking, it's because of the way you're feeling, right? So if I have a thought, it creates an emotion, drives an action. The reason I'm eating more food than my body needs is because I'm actually in emotions I don't want to experience. So the emotions I'm currently experiencing are why I'm overeating, okay? So yes, food is addictive in society. There's foods that have been engineered to be addictive. Food's yummy, I get that. But like the actual reason that we're eating when our body is saying that we're actually full is because we're not eating over hunger, we're eating over emotions, okay? So I can do an overeating course. How to make decisions course, which would be really good. The golden compass, like how to make, I think that would be called, okay, sorry. How much of your sessions does insurance cover? Insurance doesn't cover coaching right now. At least the way that I do it, it's very rare to find a life coach that's covered. I think they're working on that, but I don't want to work with insurance. I think insurance is fundamentally flawed. I know that that's bad because it makes it less accessible, but that's why I'm trying to make coaching really accessible with my low ticket offers. But my coaching is like, if you work with me realistically, one-on-one is probably gonna be 500 to a couple thousand, depending on the length and the intensity of what you want to get done. That's just the truth. My coaching is very reasonably priced for what I offer, and I will get you the results I'm offering, and your life will become much better than what you pay. But I understand that's expensive for some people, and that's okay. So, if you're interested in coaching with me, you can always hop on a consult. The consult's $50, and it's 45 minutes of my time. So even if you don't say yes to the coaching, we're gonna build out a plan, and you'll leave with a plan, which will be well worth the $50 you spend. So that's good. And if you want to do coaching with me, I'd love to do it with you. I'll create a plan on the call. It'll be around that price range. My prices are all listed. I'm pretty open about that. One of my big core values is integrity in pricing and price transparency. So there's that. And if you aren't sure you can afford anything right now, well, you can always jump in my $7 mentorship and at least DM me and let me know you're interested in it so that I can put you on my list so that when I create it, you can join. It's one of the first people. And in that $7 mentorship, I want to do one call a week where I'm doing coaching. And because it's going to be new, you might get access to me for a lot cheaper than normally would. Can you see my comment? I don't know, Emily. I'm sorry. I cannot see it. I don't see it coming up. I know you asked a comment earlier and I missed it. I'm so sorry about that. So ask it again and I will try to get to it, okay? Sorry about that. I'm on A right now. How do I truly leave a narcissist behind in a relationship for good? It's not how, it's like, why wouldn't you, right? Figure out why you're staying. I think that's the best way. If you can write down all the reasons why you haven't left and you do that uncomfortable work with yourself, you're going to call BS and all those reasons, you'll be able to leave. Right? The reason why you're still with a narcissist is because you're believing thoughts that aren't true that are making you want to stay. And it's uncomfortable work to do that, right? Like, what am I actually believing about this relationship? Well, I don't think I'll find anyone better. Well, it's very uncomfortable to admit that we have a poor relationship with ourselves and we don't think we can find anything better. So that's the first step. Admit that to yourself with so much love for yourself. And then you're going to see that that's not true. And then once you remove the reasons why you think you can't leave by being honest with yourself, you'll be able to leave. Make sense? So I'm jealous of women that have always had men dotting on them or are able to jump from boyfriend to boyfriend. Why? Jealousy is not a bad emotion. Jealousy is a very good emotion. Jealousy is like one of the best emotions to see what you actually want. Yeah, jealousy is it's like the compass of emotions. If I'm jealous over somebody, it's because I want what they have every single time without exception. So what about that situation do you want if you're being completely honest with yourself without feeling guilt or shame? Okay, that's what your work is. I'm seeing psychiatrist now. You're welcome, A. I do not. They're so unhappy. I'm sorry, I don't know this. 2 wonders. I'm seeing a psychiatrist now. No problem with that. Just make sure you like their information. One of the worst and most insidious things I see in the psychiatric world, the clinical world, is that patients don't believe that they're capable of questioning the doctor's beliefs. And I think that you should always question somebody's beliefs. Whether it's a life coach like me, a doctor, a plumber, if it doesn't make sense to you and you want more information, ask. Ask. If you don't like a diagnosis you get, talk to them about it. You know, a diagnosis, at the very bottom of the day, what it actually is just an opinion. It's just an opinion every single time. Unless you have a physical ailment, they take a test and they can show you. It's just opinion-based. Psychiatric evaluation is always opinion-based. And that's the messed up, insidious part about the world of psych, is that like people think it's like black and white. It isn't, right? So oftentimes, and I'm saying this from my own personal experience, I've seen the psychiatric world do more harm than good because somebody gets told by an expert that there's something wrong with them. They believe that, they identify with that, and then it creates all this havoc in their life because they're identifying as somebody who's broken. Okay? So I'm not saying that diagnoses there's no utility in it or they're not helpful. There is, and they are, and they can be. But if you're seeing a psychiatrist and something doesn't add up in your brain, trust yourself to at least ask questions. That's all I'm saying. You know, the patient and the doctor are both responsible to make sure the care is adequate. Okay? So that's what I want for you. It's like to actually be able to critically think about things. And that's the way that you're going to create the life you want. If what I'm saying doesn't make sense to you, question it. I'm not going to be offended. And if I am, it's none of your business. My offense is none of your business. You know, your business is choosing to think and feel and believe things that feel good to you because you like the reasons. Okay? So don't worry about other people's emotions. That's not your responsibility. So that's all I'm saying, 2 wonders, is to get the most out of the consult, make sure you go in there actually willing to say the things you're thinking and ask questions when you feel like you want to. Emily, there we go. Sorry about that, Emily. Like work-wise, my relationships, my college, moving out, starting life, basically. What about it? What about it? All I see is the like work-wise comment, and I feel like I'm missing part of it. One sec. Thanks for the follow, guys. I appreciate it. Also, if anybody here is interested in learning the tools that I teach for a very low cost, $7 a month, I'm going to start a school of community where we're all learning and applying all this stuff together so your life gets better on all these fronts all at once. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. Motivation, goals, starting a business, relationships, quitting substances. It's all good. It's all going to be beneficial. And the tools I teach will help you with any of those things. And I'm going to have specific courses on specific problems, but I'm not niching down to one problem. I think that we can talk about this stuff all with the same lens. I keep getting stuck in situations with men who don't commit but have in the past with other women. Yeah, so where in your vibration are you not committing to yourself? Right? Because what you're going to find is when we start learning how to do this work, this thought work, is that the thoughts we think are always creating proof. And that the results we get in life, no matter what the result is, a dollar amount in your bank account, the job you have, the wife, the spouse, the partner you have, every single time that we get a result, it's because of the way that we're thinking, and it's always a projection of our own inner state. And I'm not just saying that. Again, it's factual, right? So what is it about my life and my relationship with myself where I'm allowing guys who aren't committing into my life? And it's probably that you're going to find out that you're not committing either in your life somewhere. There's somewhere where you're not being able to have commitment, right? So whenever we get upset at somebody else for something, it's because we're doing it ourselves and we can see us in them, and that's why we're upset, right? It makes sense, doesn't it? Doesn't that make logical sense? Like if I'm mad at somebody else for having all the money, or for shit talking, I'm mad at them and I'm actually shit talking them and blaming them for being mad at shit talking. Make sense? So you're in your vibration. I'm not saying this to blame you. I'm saying this to empower you. Where in your life are you actually the one not committing and you're mad at them for not committing because you're the one doing it to yourself? Make sense? Yes. Okay, go, got him. Sorry, I went to the. I can't help. My brain is just a amalgamation. What's the word? A collection of just like random vines and TikToks. At this point, I went to the doctor for chest pain, and they prescribed me generic naproxen and made it 10 times worse. Yeah, so you want to question all that, right? You do your own research. Find out why they're doing that. Find out what is true for you and what's not true. Because like a random chest pain could be emotional, right? I don't know. You could have been ignoring the emotion of shame for so long in your body that it's just pounding your chest. I don't know what the issue is. But like, with any kind of diagnosis or anything, we want to just become aware and become intelligent consumers. Okay? That's all. I'm behind. The hardest for me. Okay, Emily, this is the thing, is that there's certain thoughts in our life that we can choose. Like, every single thought is optional. Every single thought is optional. And the amazing thing is that every single thought creates an emotion in our body. So if I choose to believe an optional thought that I'm behind and it creates bad emotions in my body, my life gets worse. And then I end up actually sitting in self-pity rather than creating the life that I want. So in a very real way, if I choose to believe that I'm behind in life and it feels bad to me, I'm going to act in a way that doesn't actually get me ahead. Or I'll just not act at all. So in a very literal sense, like I think I'm autistic, you guys. So I like literal. In a very literal sense, my thought becomes my reality because of how it makes me feel, and therefore act, or in this case, not act, right? So be mindful of that. And that's what I teach. It's the one skill set I'll teach you. It's the most important skill set. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. Your thoughts become your reality. We've got to be able to learn how to manage them. If you're having trouble quitting vaping, Cam, go to my bio and go to the Escape the Vape link and it'll help you out. Abby, welcome back, girl. Hey, Abby, yes. Oh, cool. Thank you. I was going to ask. I am putting like 3. Okay, so the monthly community is going to be $7 a month on school. And I'm putting together 3 courses right now that I think every client, no matter what their problem, should learn. So it's all about the thought work, managing your thoughts. I'm going to put together a course on like how to actually make decisions. I think that's really important. And have a vision and all that. And then I'm still figuring out the other course. So give me a couple weeks. I really do appreciate it. Like DM me so that I have you on here because I might forget. Here, but I'll put the little thing up 1 minute. DM me, and then I'm trying to get like 100 people interested in this. I really want to believe that I can get 100 people in a group that are active no matter what the niche is to get coaching. So that's what I'm thinking. But I want to have at least 3 courses up that are going to teach the basic tools so that that's the basic curriculum anybody gets. And then everything in that community will be talking about learning and applying that curriculum. And I'm going to do 1 live call a week where I actually coach people in real time on their real issues. And I think there's going to be immense value in that. So I'm really excited. It's going to be like a improve your life group pretty much, like with Life Coach Andrew and his tools. So I'm excited. But anyways, sorry about that. So if you guys are interested in that, DM me, please. Just say, hey, I'm interested in your $7 mentorship when you decide to have it. And I'll reach out to you when you do it. I'd love to have you, seriously. It would make me so happy to have like 100 people in there getting so much more value than the $7 I'm providing. So thanks for asking, Abby. I genuinely appreciate that, girl. Clamski, my goal is to get clam. Okay, then you have to become the kind of person who thinks about getting clam, right? And I'm not just saying that sarcastically. Like, if I want to get clam, I have to like already believe that clam wants me. I'm sorry, girl, I'm sitting here talking about vagina calling it clam. Clam, I'm going to keep doing it. Or somebody called it a slit this weekend. I went to a party and like we were playing this game called 5 Second Rule, and you have to like, there was like 3 names for the female organ, and they said slit. And I'm like, that's a great name for a vagina. So if you want to get more slit, you have to become someone who thinks you attract slit. Just like if I want to get more dick, I have to believe that people out there find me attractive, that there's guys out there who would die to date me. There's guys out there who want to take me on a date and pay for my dinner. That's how you attract it. I become the person in my mind who believes that I already attract them. And then I show up energetically in a way that just attracts guys wherever I am. Because you don't hunt clam, you attract it. Okay? That's exactly right. So whether or not that's a joke comment, I'm being serious. I'm being that serious. You have to become the kind of person who attracts it. Become attractive. How would you show up? What would you think about yourself? What would you feel? I ended up meditating the chest pain one way. Yeah, it's very possible, Gotti, and I'm not diagnosing you, obviously, but it's very possible that your chest pain is actually emotional and that you're misrepresenting. And that a doctor, if they know that you have chest pain, will think that it's a physical chemical problem when it's actually an emotional problem, right? Or a spiritual problem, right? So the problem with most doctors is that they've been trained very literally on the human body, which is good. That's what they should be trained on, without actually understanding the emotional and the spiritual side. And that's a problem because you can't only focus on 1/3 of the human being and expect to be able to treat everything, right? You can't. There's a spiritual solution to every problem, is what I'm saying. And spiritual is the highest version, I would think. So you can't solve higher level problems on a lower level field. It just can't happen. It's part of the laws of the universe, by the way. Anyways, everything's vibrational, right? Addie, okay, I might have to get some water because I'm like drying up. I've been sipping on coffee and my throat's dry. But Addie, how can I get let go of the guy I love. I recently broke up with him. I'm struggling big time missing him. Here's the thing. Is what I want to say for you is this is going to sound conflicting, but both things are important. This is a non-polarized answer. That's why it's such a good answer. Number one is let yourself feel all the emotions. Let yourself have the time to process your emotions. You're trying to get over something right now without you're trying to get over something you need to go through. That's the problem. So whatever emotions need to come up, let them come up for a month or two, as long as it needs to come up. And then the second thing is, while you're processing those emotions, make sure that those emotions aren't coming from thoughts you're believing that aren't true, that are going to indefinitely hurt you. Okay? Does that make sense? Ask questions if you have it. Sky, what about feeling low motivation, especially when it comes to work? Well, you're probably feeling low motivation for work because you don't like your work. Let's just be very fucking direct here, right? A lot of people have motivation issues because they're trying to force themselves to motivate themselves to do something they don't want to do. It's that logical. Like, I swear to God, I'm probably autistic. And that just, even though I have all the mental tools and everything, that the answer can be that simple, right? You don't believe that the action you're taking is going to be worth it, so you're not motivated to take the action. Or you just don't want to take the action because it's not what you actually want, right? So my next question to you is, what are you currently believing about work that's making you feel unmotivated? And we're going to get right to the answer, right? When you start asking, if you actually ask yourself that question, you mean it, and you want the answer, let's find the answer, right? So, make sense? Makes sense? How do I not settle for the safe life? I crave financial stability. Again, this is one of the courses I'm going to make in my entry-level program. It's $7 a month. It's going to be about how your brain works, because it's very important to understand, because a lot of people are walking around the world thinking there's something wrong with them when actually their brain's working exactly how it should. Your brain is designed not to get uncomfortable, okay? It's designed not to get uncomfortable. It really is. It's hardwired into you to not want to get uncomfortable, to have security, because your brain doesn't care about your happiness or your purpose or your dreams. Your brain literally just cares about your survival right now in the moment. Our brains are wired for survival in the three-dimensional plane. It's not wired for love and peace and happiness. So if you want to go out and create a life that's big, you have to expect that your brain's going to throw up all of the signals of fear and panic and worry. And that you have to expect that discomfort is the currency of your dreams. It really is. That's what one of my coaches says that I love. Let me get water. I'll be right back. Literally 10 seconds I seem to go. I'll drink sink water for you guys. I'll drink the well water so that I don't miss out. Give me 10 seconds. I got my cup. I need some water. He needs some milk. Oh, it's so hard. This water is so hard. But I won't go downstairs and get the filtered stuff just for you guys. All right. So 1 sec. Abby, thank you for messaging me. Girl, I'm so excited. I really want to have like 100, 200 people just like you in there getting so much value and reaching out and going for it, Okay. So, yes. And Sky, the last thing I want to say on your comment really fast, because I skipped that part, is how do you stop feeling indecisive? I don't think that you're actually indecisive. I think the decisions that you really want to make are the ones that scare you the most. So it's your brain is tricking itself. It's like, this is what I really want, and I know that, and if I would just let myself believe it was possible, it'd be very simple to make the decision. But I don't believe it's possible, so all the emotions get clouded up in the decision you want to make. Make sense? Okay. Thanks for the follow, Addie. And Addie, if you want, I'm gonna teach in my basic membership. It's gonna be $7 a month, and it'll teach you the basic tools I have, and then we're gonna apply them. So if you want help with the relationship tools, I'm gonna create a relationship. It'll all be relationship related, but at some point I'll create a specific relationship and how to get over and all that stuff. All right, Midget Humper, what a great name. I love that name. That's fucking hilarious. I love that. I'm sorry. That's fucking funny. I'm 18, just diagnosed with PTSD because of bad home life. It's hard not to resent the people. I don't think it's bad to resent them right now. Listen, here's the thing. At some point along your journey, you're going to have to forgive them because you recognize that forgiveness is something you do for you, not for them. Forgiveness isn't saying, oh, you can keep doing it and I accept it. That's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is literally saying, I'm choosing to release the negative emotion I'm holding in my body. That's it. If you guys want another quote of the day, that's a good one. So, but I think right now, for the place that you're at with PTSD and the horrible things that you've experienced, I don't think it's a bad thing to resent them. I don't think resentment is always a bad emotion to experience. I think that's where you are in your journey, and you shouldn't make yourself feel bad for that. Okay? But right now, your work is to learn how to get to a place where you can feel more forgiving. Not to make it a problem that you're not there right now, again, right? But eventually, you want to be able to release that negative emotion, because one of the best quotes I've ever heard in terms of emotion and negative emotion is Wayne Dyer. He's a spiritual coach, and he says that, maybe he got this from somebody else, but he says that holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and then waiting for your enemies to die. right? So that's why resentment isn't an emotion and forgiveness isn't something we do for someone else. It's to release that poison we're putting into our own body. But if you're not at that point, that's okay. You'll be okay. Just start to do the work of trying to figure out what happened and make sense of it and releasing those negative emotions as they come, okay? It was a very back and forth relationship, so I feel messed up with my mindset. Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. I don't think it's a problem, but if you want to get better and work through it, like you have to learn how to strengthen your own opinion about yourself and what you want to believe, and that comes from listening to our our inner compass, right? Like you know what you want and what you don't want, right? You're welcome, no problem, man, or woman, or they. I don't know who you are, but you're welcome. Yeah, and right now, like don't make yourself feel bad for being in any place. Like there's a lot of places in my life that I can still do development. I'm 29 years old, right? So like there's people I need to forgive still and things I need to let go of, and I've been doing it in layers over time. But I stopped believing that I should be anywhere different than I was about 2 years ago, because those beliefs just hurt you for no reason and they stop you from actually growing. If I believe I should be further along than I am, I actually cut myself off from learning the lessons I need from being where I'm at. So I literally, from believing I should be more growth forward, I stop myself from growing. It's the paradox of how that belief system works, okay? Do I believe in Jesus? 100%. I actually am spiritual. I don't believe Jesus was the one savior, but I believe Jesus was a savior, if that makes sense. I believe that Jesus was very connected to source energy. I also believe other people have come close, and I believe that other people have been in the same place, like Buddha and like Gandhi. I don't know if he wasn't Jesus, but saints, right? I believe that Jesus was a real person that came here and was very connected to source energy, and he understood that we are all divine creators, and just like he says, right? Anyone like you can do what I can do. And what he was saying is that if you connect to source energy and remember who you are as a divine creator, then you'll see that we are all like mini gods. And that's exactly what Jesus did. His vibration was so connected to source energy that he could heal, and he could do things that other people couldn't do who weren't connected, okay? So this life to me is all about remembering who you are spiritually and connecting back to that energy so you can create what you want. That's the fun of creation, right? That's why we're here, right? That's a good way to look at it, yes. Yes. How do I get vaping? Yes. If you want, there's 3 addictions. If you want help on that, Kira, though, go to my link in my bio. I know it's like, oh, he sent me to a link. Like, dude, just go check out the link. It's called Escape the Vape. It'll help you, because I have a course and it helps people. And it's like, even if you don't buy the course, the information on the sales page will help you. And I can't talk about it here because I get banned. TikTok will censor me if I talk too much about things like that, unfortunately. Courtney, hey! Growth continues until day you die, 100%. If you do it right, yeah. And a lot of people stop. A lot of people stop growing at like 30 years old. I know peers who are like stopping, they're just like going to jobs they hate. They're going to stay there. They don't love their jobs. They bitch about it. They drink a lot. That's all they do. They're not pushing themselves into discomfort. Yeah. So what's up, Courtney? It's good to see you. We should catch up. Courtney, I've been trying to figure out how to bring coaching to people accessibly so that it's not just like a high ticket coaching like what we did. And I'm thinking about, I'm going to start this $7 mentorship where it's on school, the platform school, and I'm going to teach all my basic courses for $7. And then if people want to work with me one-on-one, it'll be cheaper because they'll already have the basic curriculum. They can just do like asynchronous coaching with me. So it'll be good. But anyways, nice to see you. And if you're like interested in that, let me know, because I'd love to have you in there. Yeah, it'll just be $7 for anyone who wants to join. Allie, what's wrong with vaping? I mean, there's a lot wrong with it. It's just something that hurts you, right? Here's what I want to offer you. It's neutral, okay? It's not good nor bad, but if it's creating results you don't want, then it's a problem in your life by your own definition. That's how I want to say it. I'm pretty unpolarized, okay? So if you want help quitting, that's awesome. If you don't want help quitting, that's awesome too. Yes, hey, okay, I'm being dead ass serious. Kat, that's so cute, you're with the boots. You said not all this shit. If you're actually trying to figure out all this, I'm going to create a $7 membership for Life Coach Andrew on the school platform. And in that membership, I'm going to teach you everyone my basic curriculum for what I teach as a life coach so that you can start to improve your life on all these fronts, okay? So if you're interested in that, please, I'll send it to you. DM me and let me know, hey, I'm actually for $7, why wouldn't I do that, right? So DM me. I'm trying to get a group of people. I'm trying to bring life coaching to people accessibly, high quality coaching. And it's gonna be general coaching. It's like as if you were to just see a therapist, kind of think of it that way for life coaching. So imagine if a therapist came up and they're like, hey, I'm creating a platform where I'm gonna teach you all the tools about therapy for a really affordable price. That's what I'm doing, but just in the life coaching lens. So if you're interested in that, DM me and say, hey, I'm interested. And then when I come up with the membership in a couple weeks, I will DM you and you can join, and you're gonna get so much value out of it. It's gonna be so fucking good. And I want a bunch of people in there. I want a ton of people paying low ticket offer, getting a ton of value. That's what I want. So that's my mission right now. So if you think about it, that's all I have for you. But yeah, if you want to lead a better life in general, I think seriously the number one thing you have to get a hold over is your thoughts and your emotions. And because your thoughts create your emotions, they're tied together. Okay, so the skill set you're going to learn from a good life coach like myself, The skill set you're going to learn is how your thoughts are optional, how to manage those thoughts, and how to also sit with your emotions, the good and the uncomfortable. Because negative emotions themselves are not a problem, but we're often taught that they are, and that's the problem, is that we're taught that something normal is abnormal, and then we create problems trying to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed. Make sense? So if you have all these problems, it's because you have the same basic issues that are all rooted in the way you're thinking and feeling about your life. Make sense? So that is it. So yeah, if you guys have been here a while, I'm going to do this $7 membership. I'm really excited. I have a podcast too. If you guys want to get more value, I'm putting all these lives on YouTube. So like, I'm going to go live every day, Monday through Friday. Sorry, I don't take people on here. In my membership, I will. Sorry about that. But I'm going to create the membership. And then I also have all these lives I'm going to put onto YouTube. I started doing it. I'm going to go regularly live Monday through Friday at this time slot. Maybe I'll switch the time slot up a little bit if it's bad, but yeah. So it'll be really good. I'm so sorry. Therapy's always been hard because of my self-awareness. Yeah, and it's good to be aware, right? But you know, what coaching does is it helps you be aware of your own, it helps you become aware of, it helps you see that your own awareness is optional so you can change your level of awareness. Does that make sense? It's different. It's a different level. And therapy is amazing. I'm never trying to shit talk the clinical world. Seriously. Like, I believe in diagnoses. I believe in medication. It's all beautiful. It all has a purpose. But just like everything in life, if we take too polarized of a view, it actually becomes unhelpful, right? Like if we only rely on medication or we only rely on one form of therapy or one kind of therapy or one, way of looking at mental health, then it becomes bad. Just like, I don't think that life coaching is the only way to help people. I think it's beautiful in certain situations, but I'm trying to become more non-polarized as I get more into this and more spiritual. So, I'm pretty non-polarized, and that's the message I want to spread, is that it's very hard to find absolutes in this world. So the tools that I teach will help you with these problems. I don't think that it's the only way. I think from my experience, my opinion, it's the best way, but that's a polarized opinion, right? So yes, so I'm excited to have you. Yeah, thank you, Courtney. I'm excited to do it. Do I have a podcast on Spotify? Yes, it's called the Making Meaningful Income Podcast. And if you guys want, if you're trying to quit vaping, I have a podcast called the Quit Vaping Podcast. That's actually like it's in the top 2% of podcasts right now, so it does very well. So if you're interested in quitting vaping, you can always check that out, or you can just go right to the course in my bio and get the course and just quit with that. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing in my life right now. Yeah, Lily, if you want help quitting vaping, just understand that the actual vape itself is like 20% of the issue. Nicotine is addictive, and everybody knows that, right, like chemically. But the actual issue is the reasons we're using it, which is always mental and emotional, okay? So the chemical is part of it, but our thoughts create our emotions. That's the biggest thing we have to get under control, right? I call this the 3 addiction framework. There's the mental, the emotional, the chemical. If you deal with all 3, you deal with the complete picture of nicotine addiction, you're able to quit for good, okay? And that's what I teach in my podcast, the Quit Vaping Podcast, or in my link tree. There's a program called Escape the Vape. It's a pre-recorded course. It's very affordable, and it works very well for most people to go through it. And if for some reason it doesn't work for you all the way, I give you a free 30-minute call 30 days out from the program so that you can address any issues and hiccups you're having, so that hopefully it'll work for you for the price you pay. Cool. So that's what I'm doing. That's my life. I still have to be on, literally, I have to be on live at I've made a promise to myself that I'll be on. So that's what I'm doing. That's my life. I still have to be on, literally, I have to be on live at I've made a promise to myself that I'll be on until. Holy crap. I thought I'd spend more time than that. So I have like 25 to 30 more minutes to be on here. So I'm just going to keep answering questions. If you guys have any questions about anything, ask. If not, that's okay too. And I can just talk to a wall. Awesome. Cabri, so thanks for the question. I appreciate that. Marriage tips. Yes, husband works nonstop and I'm, okay. SAHM. I don't want to say it because I'll get blocked, but I know you are. How do we stop arguing over stupid things? Yeah. One of the best ways to stop relationship problems in general is to take responsibility for your emotions in the relationship. Okay. One of the tools that I teach, it's called the manual. And what we see is that on accident, unintentionally, we kind of like, as human beings, we like to create these rule books of how people should show up in our life. So like for husband needs to call me 3 times a day. Husband needs to do these things. Husband needs to not do certain things. And whenever husband doesn't fit into my rule book for how husband should act, I get upset and I take it personally. Right? So one of the best ways to fix relationship issues is stop expecting your partner to be somebody who they aren't. And then when they are doing things that you don't like, set clear boundaries for yourself. And a boundary is never controlling husband, right? It's not, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this. That's not a boundary, that's controlling, right? A boundary is, if you show up in this way, here's how I'm gonna respond, right? So when we take emotional responsibility for our emotions in a relationship, we stop expecting our partner to be somebody who they're not, and we set boundaries when they do show up in a way that we don't like. That's how you stop arguing over stupid things. Because what you're going to find is that you're never arguing over the stupid things. The stupid things are just kind of like the faceplate of the actual issue under the surface, which is that you're not satisfied with how your partner's showing up because you expect him to be somebody who's not, right? Or because he's doing all these things you don't like and you're not building boundaries around how you actually want to talk to him. Make sense? Yes. I was told things I already know. That's helped me look at different. Yes, I don't want to tell you things you already know. I want to help you to figure out. What's so cool about coaching is it's teaching you how to show up in the way. If you don't have what you want in life, you have to think about it a different way. So if I'm just sitting here validating your opinions, you're never going to change. I have to actually challenge your opinions on things in order for you to show up as a different person and get new results. So I think that oftentimes therapy helps you solidify your current identity, and that's the complete opposite skill set I'm teaching you in coaching. I don't want you to solidify your current identity, your current beliefs and thoughts about your life are the problem. So actually I think that coaching can be the complete opposite of therapy sometimes. There's not a bad, one is not right or wrong. Sometimes the most important thing you can do for your life is be validated. You need that person to validate you and to have the experience where you feel loved and worthy enough to be listened to. But also in a coaching setting, the worst thing I can do is validate you when it's creating a result you don't want. So it can be a lot more triggering to get coaching. It can be a lot more forward, but that's why I like it. I'm a fucking direct ass motherfucking gay guy who is snappy and gay. So coaching is just a beautiful container for me, right? Where I get to help you in a loving way, but also a very direct way. Make sense? It's so good. And I need to cut that and put it on a TikTok because that's really good what I just said. Holy shit. Sorry, and also I'm saying that with so much love for myself and without arrogance. Like that was good, wasn't it? So I want to help the world normalize life coaching. I really do and I want to help everybody normalize thinking about the way that we're thinking and why we're thinking it. So, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. So if you guys are interested in what I'm saying, if you're like, holy shit, this guy actually makes sense, it's kind of cool, I will be creating a $7 membership. I just keep saying membership. And it's going to, I'm going to have some basic courses in there to teach you the basic tools I think all adults should be learning in life coaching. And then I'm also going to be periodically releasing new courses probably every month so that you guys can get courses on stuff, and it's $7 a month. I just think it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be ridiculous value for what you're paying, and I'm also gonna do live coaching in there included with the $7 membership, at least for now. And it'll be like hey, I learned this tool, I'm having trouble applying it, get on the phone with Andrew, let's talk about how to apply it properly so you can get the result you want. Pretty cool, right? You're welcome, K-Bree. And if you want help with that girl, DM me here. I'll push you. DM me and say, hey, Andrew, I'm interested. I just want more information about your membership. And I would love to go back and forth with you about what you want, what you need out of it, because I want to build this membership to what you need and what you're interested in, what you want. That's what will work, right? That's how good business works. So let me know. Send me a DM. I'll look at it after the chat and we'll talk, and I would love to. And I want this to be like completely a friendly and non-weird, icky, non-salesy relationship. Like I do not like icky sales. I like complete integrity, directness. And that's how business should work. So if I can help you with something and $7 makes sense for you to spend on it, let's go. You know what I mean? Why not? That just makes sense to me. Yes, you give the perfect ratio of tough love and genuine caring. Yeah, and I think that's what makes me a good coach, is that I know exactly where you're at. Like, I know that if you're having a problem in your life, it's very fucking real. And it's also like, this asshole's telling me just to change my thoughts, and that's not going to work. So I understand where you're at, but I will say that I know where you are. I know where you need to be if you want to change the result. So I try really hard to be empathetic, but also not too empathetic, because if I give you too much empathy, you're going to try to justify the thoughts and the emotions that aren't serving you, and I can't, right? So it's a balance. One of the best ways I heard it is like life coaching or therapy. It's kind of like rock climbing, right? We're kind of like grabbing onto a rock, seeing if it's steady before we move forward. Like that's how we do it. It's kind of a fun, I think of it as an art. I think coaching is an art because like everyone can do it different. It's not really a science. It can be a science. Like cognitive behavioral therapy is based in what I do, kind of like the CBT stuff I've kind of grabbed on, but like it's fun. It's exciting. There's no right or wrong way to do it. The whole entire thing is always just how can I help you to think about your life in a way that will serve you to the result you want, to the person you want to be. And there's no wrong way to do, there's no right way to do that, right? I should say. Quitting vaping. Yes, Manny. What's up, Manny? You know what I'm thinking of is Modern Family. Manny! Jay! Sorry, I love Sophia Logo. Jay! Me and my brother, when we used to watch that show, we would just scream that, and like I'd rather randomly be sitting at home doing something, and all I hear from downstairs is like, Jay! And then I start screaming it, and then we would have this whole house war of Jay. Anyways, quitting vaping. There's 3 addictions. If you want help understanding all 3, go to my link in my link tree. There's one called Escape the Vape. Go check it out. Best thing ever. Thanks for not being ignorant like a lot of people. Hey, I'm trying my best, but let me say something, is that I am ignorant in a lot of different ways. So I just want to say that. Like, I think that if I say, oh yeah, I'm not ignorant, that shows that I am ignorant, right? I think one of the best lines is from, I think Jordan Peterson said, somebody said this, it was very intelligent. They said, like, I'm non-ignorant enough to know how ignorant I am. You know what I mean? Like, I have so many jaded beliefs and stuff that I'm trying to work through, just like all of us. So thank you. I appreciate the comment. Also, Manny. Oh, it's Manny. Manny? Is that Manny? Oh, because I'm Michigan. You know what, though? I speak Spanish, so I can do it like Manny. Like, I can do the right vowels. But I'm from Michigan, and we have the most nasally A's ever. Meh, meh, meh. You know, that's just how the Midwesterns talk for some reason from Michigan. I don't know what that's about. But yes, we are very nasally. Nasally. Gabe, what? You can't come in here and call me not ignorant and then not follow me, okay? I want to help you. Follow me and then join my $7 membership, and we're going to talk. And I'm going to give you all the tools I have so that we can all be not ignorant together. Abby, my mom always gave me only tough love. Therapy was none. It's nice to have a bit of both. You need both. Again, I'm non-polarized as much as I can be as a human being, right? I try to be. So what's one of my values is like tough love is, you get to the point where tough love just makes you resent the person. So it's a mix. You know, my job as a good coach is to find out just how much toughness you can take without breaking you. I want to put you right on the edge, right? That's what the best way to foster growth is, right on that edge. So that's what I try to do in my coaching, and I think I'm quite effective at it. And that's just who I am as a person. I'm very empathetic, but I also know that empathy sometimes can be not a nice thing for somebody. If they're, you know, one of the worst things you can do is be empathetic sometimes to someone who is not thinking thoughts that are creating the results they want. And I'm probably autistic. Let me just say that. I don't say that as a bad thing. There's no insult here, by the way. Lily, I'm in the right there. Okay, if somebody's trying to quit vaping and you don't want to pay for my course, go to the Quit Vaping podcast. It's the podcast I made. It's number 2. It's in the top 2% of podcasts in the world right now, which I'm very proud of, and it's completely free. Go check it out. Quit Vaping podcast. Listen to any episode. It will help you. I promise you it'll help you. It'll change your whole life, and then once your life gets changed from that, you can join my $7 membership where we're going to take the concepts and go deeper so that you can create other results you want in your life too. Okay? That's what I want for you. So go check it out. It's completely free. It's a beautiful way to get a shit ton of value all for free and get to know me so I can help you change your life. Vaping is great. Like, quitting vaping is great. It's just one of the areas I focus on. Okay? So, Jasmine, hey, thanks for the comment, girl. I appreciate you being here. For everyone who's commenting, genuinely, thank you for doing this, because it wouldn't work without you. I would just be here talking to myself. So, Jasmine, all right, let me put up if anybody wants to DM me about my $7 membership, I'm going to just let me know that you're interested so that I can eventually reach out to you and be like, hey, it's ready. Jasmine, what does it mean when more women tell me I'm pretty than men? It doesn't mean anything bad. What do you think it means, right? I don't think it's a problem. I think women are just being kind. And honestly, you know what? Men sometimes are really nervous to talk because you're pretty. So it could actually mean that, I just don't know, right? It depends on the specific person, because every person takes an action based on what they think and feel. So they may look at you and go, holy crap, like, let me see your picture. Obviously, like, you're gorgeous. They're probably looking at you and going, holy crap, she's so pretty, I don't even want to talk to her, right? So it could be that you're so pretty that people are scared to talk to you, men of the opposite sex, because they don't want to offend you or make you uncomfortable, or they don't want to get rejected, right? So I just think that would be it. Like, if I'm gay, right? So because I don't have the fear of being rejected by a woman, I just say whatever I want to women. And if I think a girl's pretty, I'm like, you are fucking gorgeous. Or I'll like walk up to a girl and be like, by the way, I love your outfit. Just love that. Like, some girl was my waitress the other day. I'm like, you're Bob. So fucking cute, right? Men aren't going to say that and think she's pretty because they're nervous to say that to her. I'm not nervous because I'm not sexually interested, right? So I just think it could mean a lot of different things, but don't automatically assume it's a bad thing, right? Because it probably isn't. And the problem with most people and most of the ways that we're living our lives is that we look at facts of the life, like, no guys asked me out today, and we make it mean something bad about us when it has nothing to do with us. Okay? You're welcome. Abby, try mimicking the breath work that you get from vaping. Yeah, something. It is, right? And whenever you need to hit a vape, it's because of the emotion you're experiencing. And most people aren't aware of that. So if I'm sitting here like really needing to hit a vape, it's probably because you're anxious. And you're probably anxious because you're thinking all these thoughts that are creating anxiety. So the way that I help people quit vaping is I show you the whole picture of what's going on in your mind so you can understand what's happening during a craving. And if you can do that, it's very simple not to run to the vape store, because you'll be able to manage it, right? It's when we don't feel like we have control, it becomes an issue. When I can show you actually do have control, here's why, then you can take your control back and your power back. And that's exactly what my podcast, my Quit Vaping course will help you do. My resources, any of my resources, they're helping you see the full picture of your life and your emotions. Okay? Thanks, Abby. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for being on here and being a supporter. It means a lot to me. It's very validating and I appreciate it. Yeah, if you need to stop smoking, Jasmine, I have resources for that. You can go to the Quit Vaping podcast, anywhere you find podcasts where it's free. You can also go to my link in my link tree. And there is sorry, I was just looking at Sorry, some guy's profile picture is really cute. Yeah, his name's Samuel. He's really cute. It literally took my breath away. I don't know how old he was. That's something that's creepy. I never know how old people are. I'm so bad at judging age. And people, like, for some reason now, like, 18-year-olds look like they're fucking 40. Like, why do 18-year-olds have, like, the most ripped bodies ever now? When I was 18, I was literally morbidly obese. Like, I don't understand. But, you know what I mean? Okay, I don't know what I was saying. But if you want help, just go look at my resources. They'll help you. Hey, Incognito, you're back. Welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to be on, but if you want help, just go look at my resources. They'll help you. Hey, Incognito, you're back. Welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to be on, let me check. So whatever I can help you with in 12 minutes, I'm here for you. Again, I'm going to start a membership. It'll be $7 a month, and it's going to be helping you learn all the tools I teach my clients in a very practical sense with courses. So like, go in there, get value, and it's going to be so good. Thank you for the follow, Jasmine. So yeah, it'll be really good. So whatever I can help you with, I will. I'm going to stockpile a whole bunch of courses, so you get in there for $7 and you have a ridiculously good amount of value from me directly. And I want this to be like an educational and a community platform, so you guys can like really get into knowing me, my stuff. If anybody wants one-on-one coaching, it'll be a lot cheaper once you join that. You know, all these things that I can do as a life coach. Yes, overeating. So this is great awareness, Lanny. A lot of people don't realize that they're overeating for emotions. They just think they like food, which isn't the case. Whenever we're using any kind of substance, whatever it's food, alcohol, nicotine, whatever the thing is, the reason we're using it is because of how we're feeling. Okay, so we're trying to change an emotional state with an external thing, an external chemical, right? So my question to you as a life coach, really, and I want you to really think about this because you made the comment, is like, what's so bad about being bored? Okay, because if you can actually let yourself sit in boredom for a couple minutes and like actually ask yourself, like, what does it actually feel like in my body to be bored? And why is it so uncomfortable to be bored that I need to eat over it? Actually sit with yourself, actually ask yourself that question, and that will help you tremendously, okay? Because your problem isn't food related, it's that you think you shouldn't experience a completely normal emotion. That's it. So you're trying to use food to avoid something that doesn't need to be avoided, all right? So that is what I recommend for you. It'll help you tremendously. All right, guys, so how to be less racist. Question your beliefs. I don't know if that's a sarcastic comment or not, but really question your beliefs and choose what to, like, if you ever have a belief that makes you feel bad about yourself or somebody else, I would recommend that that's not a belief that serves you, right? No problem, Lanny. I know you haven't thought of it that way, and that's why you have the overeating problem, right? Because you've been told that you should be happy your whole life, and that's a lie. That's one of the biggest lies that makes people gain weight, is that we think we should be happier than we are, and we shouldn't. Like, the purpose of life isn't to be happy, it's to experience both, right? The whole purpose of life, why we come down to this planet to experience life in human form, I know it sounds woo-woo, but it isn't, is to experience the good and the bad so that we are able to experience the good because of the bad, right? So boredom's really just as important as happiness. And when you see life that way, you stop needing to avoid it. And then you stop eating over it. And then you recognize that you never had a problem the whole time. You just were taught things about emotions that weren't true. Okay? So this is great. By the way, thanks, Laney. By the way, Laney, I'm making a community that'll be $7 a month. And it's going to be all about this kind of stuff. I'm going to teach you all my basic tools about emotions, thought management, how your brain works, how to make decisions. So if you want in that, please, like, you know, anybody interested in that, let me know, DM me, please, so I can make a list of people so that when I create that course, I can let you know. You can be the first ones in, and you're going to get massive value from it. I really do want it to be way more value than you ever pay me. And I think that's how business should be, is over-delivering. So if you're interested, let me know. And I'm going to put your comments in there, too, so I can make courses about it. How your brain works, thought model, yes. How to make decisions, overeating is good. Relationship tools. That's a really good one, relationship tools. Ooh, this is gonna be good. You guys, this is gonna be so good. I'm like really excited to do this. These courses are gonna be bomb as fuck. All right. What should I eat after a long fast? Well, it depends on what you mean by long fast. My answer will differ. If it's like a 16-hour fast, eat whatever you want. If you haven't eaten for 2 or 3 days, you want to reintroduce things slowly. I would say a food that's like low calorie, high protein, and like chicken broth would be really good, right? If you want to add some protein to it, like some chicken or something. But you don't want to add a shit ton of carbs because it's going to shock your body. So do something that's like light on your body and let it reintroduce. Because I fasted for 3 days this year for 72 hours. I did a 72-hour fast, and you will shock your body if you eat like a huge meal. So if it's just 16 hours, it's like you're fine. Eat whatever you want, but yeah. Okay. So that's what I got for you. Who is interested? Do you guys want to join this membership? Like, would you be interested in doing that? Or are you just people pleasing? Like, let me know if it actually sounds like something you want, like to be in a part of a life coaching membership, which would be like pseudo therapy almost. So you'll be in literally membership where you're improving your life for $7 a month and learning everything I can teach you. It would be good. Thanks, Incognito. DM me, Incognito, please. Send me a DM so that I can add you to my list. I'd really appreciate it, because meet me halfway, okay? Because I'm gonna work on these courses this week, and then I'm gonna get going on recording them, and it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good, okay? So I'm just thinking about how to organize it. I want this to be a long-term vision, and I want to make sure I'm not acting like an Aries, which I normally am. All right. So thanks for being here, guys. You're amazing. Let me see. Is there any way for me to check how long this live's been going? Oh, an hour, 19 minutes. Sweet. All right. Awesome. 1,300 views. I'm so excited, you guys. It's going up. It's going up. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for liking my live. If you got value, follow me. Send me a DM. Say, hey, I like the stuff you're doing. I'm interested in what you're doing. I will post all these on YouTube, and I'm listing them by the date. So if you go to my YouTube, it's in my link tree. You can just search Andrew Cipriano. Go to my YouTube and search for my playlist on live recordings, TikTok, and you can just find the date, and then you can find it and rewatch if there's anything that's particularly stuck out to you, okay? So awesome. Thanks for being here. Use kind, use smart, use important. I will see you guys hopefully in my community, hopefully on my offers, hopefully in my coaching, so I can help you out. So thanks.